DAPT strategy, smart protection or overkill? In today's world, wealth isn't only built, it's also exposed. And for many people, the real question is simple. How do you protect what you've worked for before a problem ever shows up? A domestic asset protection trust, or DAPT, is one way to do that. A DAPT is an irrevocable trust designed to help protect your personal assets from future lawsuits and creditor claims, while still allowing controlled access through an independent trustee. The key idea is separation. You no longer personally own the assets, and you no longer control them directly. Instead, an independent trustee manages everything and decides if and when distributions are made. DAPTs are most often used by professionals, business owners, real estate investors, and families with significant or fast-growing assets. People who want protection but still want structure and discipline around access. Here's how it works in practice. You transfer assets into the trust. The trust is set up in a state that allows DAPTs, and the assets are legally separated from your personal ownership. Because of that structure, future creditors generally cannot force those assets to be used to satisfy personal claims, assuming everything is done properly and ahead of any legal issues. But timing is everything. It is the most critical factor in this planning strategy. DAPT only works if it is created while you are solvent and before any creditor problems exist. If it is created too late, courts can unwind the transfer. So this is not a reactive strategy, it is a planning strategy. As of 2026, several U.S. states allow domestic asset protection trusts, including Alaska, Delaware, Nevada, South Dakota, Tennessee, Wyoming, and others. You don't necessarily need to live in those states, but the trust must be properly structured and administered under their laws. And where your assets are located can still matter in certain situations. Now, there are important limitations. DAPT does not protect you from existing creditors. It does not fix past problems, and it does not work if it is set up with improper intent. It is meant for future risk, not current trouble. There's also the trade-off of control. Once assets go into a DAPT, you give up direct access and decision-making power. That can be difficult for many people because it requires real trust in the structure and in the independent trustee. So what does a DAPT really give you? Not certainty, not absolute protection, but a legal barrier between your personal risk and your personal wealth when used correctly and early. Because in modern wealth planning, the real question isn't how much you have. It's how much of it is actually protected when life changes.